Hello, one and all. This is my review of My Hero Academia, Chapter 258, Friends. And, I think we just started the final arc. That might sound kind of crazy to say, but yeah, I think this is it. Given how literally every character we've ever met is at play here, I think this is it. I think this is a big final arc, final battle between the forces of good and the forces of evil and everything in between. Now, I'm not saying the series is going to end anytime soon. I mean, we still have, Dabi versus Endeavor, Toga versus Uraka, Deku unlocking 6 more quirks, Deku versus Destruction for All, Deku versus that doctor, whatever Aries going to do, Aizawa and President Mike getting their revenge, and, just everyone else. Probably Sane's going to show up again. I definitely see that coming. I feel like this could all take place over the next, 100 to 200 chapters, and this would be like the big final conclusive arc. I also think there's a good chance, like, halfway through, the sidekicks and students are going to have to, go underground form resistance because all of the heroes, the pros, were captured or killed or whatever. I'm honestly not sure, but yeah, I think this could definitely be, the final battle, more or less. I do think, however, once all is said and done, once Deku finishes everything else, once Destruction for All is destroyed, once One for All comes to an end, all that, I think we're going to get an epilogue arc, and I think it's going to be the sports festival. Alright, well, don't really think that, but I really, really want that to happen. Just think about it, the sports festival, just showing off how everyone's managed to grow since the first one. And some rematches. Ooh, Araka versus Bakugo would be absolutely freaking amazing. They are definitely not the same people they were way back when. I definitely think it'd be a much closer fight. Still going to say Bakugo is going to win just because, the final fight has to be him versus Deku. But that'd be a lot of fun. I'd really like to see that. Alright, moving on. Who is this kid? Who is Dai? I am so utterly confused. At first I was like, okay, is this a flashback? Is this what Twice looked like as a kid? What is happening here? Who is he? I've been racking my brain like, oh, his mother looks familiar. Is his mother someone we've seen before? I even asked online, like, hey, anyone have any idea who this kid is? Best theory I've seen so far is he's going to be either a kid Deku saves or Deku's next sidekick or the next symbol of peace. Like, after Deku passes on the power to him, he's going to become the next All Might or something. Oh, also, my own personal theory, he is also Endeavor's child, his illegitimate child. That's just who he is. It just feels weird. They take up half a page, the same page where they show all the heroes going to war, to show this kid. I'm just so utterly confused by this. It feels like a weird time now to introduce someone who's going to be important to the plot down the road, just saying. Anyway, majority of this chapter is Twice and Hawks talking back and forth, and this actually made me very sad because Twice really loves Hawks. He treats him as a brother, as like his best friend, and yet Hawks is definitely 100% going to betray him. He's going to probably try to kill him personally. Twice actually says, I knew you're a swell guy, and then literally next page, Hawks is like, you were the biggest threat. When I heard that you conquered your trauma, a chill ran down my spine, because at that moment, you went from being just another 2-bit villain to the asset we ought to fear the most. Yes, because Twice is literally the most dangerous villain in the entire series. Sure, Shigaraki, his whole destruction for all, he can destroy anything he touches. Doesn't really matter if, there's a billion Twices. Just imagine, he filled an entire town with copies of himself. Imagine if he did that, 2 or 3 or 4 times over, and then just sent them to destroy city after city. Even all the heroes in Japan working together couldn't stop all of him, from just killing hundreds or thousands or millions of people while they're trying to, eliminate all the pieces of him. I honestly thought he would be, the final villain when I first saw that he conquered his trauma. Just an army of him going out and destroying everything. So yeah, I definitely think Hawks is going to try to kill him personally before the battle begins. Try to put an end to him then and there, and then Twice is going to realize and Hawks is going to be murdered. Oh, we also see the Paranormal Liberation Front is organized. There's 4 factions. The Tactics Regiment is led by Twice, for some reason I can't even begin to imagine. And his lieutenants are this weird guy with a mustache, this dude with a hat very similar to my own, and a sweet old grandma, for whatever reason. The Violet Warfare Regiment is led by Getten and Dabi, which makes a lot of sense, and they have a bunch of people under them. None of them really stand out to me all that much, but there's, a whole bunch of lieutenants we're seeing here who I think are all going to play a role in the big war that's coming, the big battle between all sides, and wow, this is going to be big. And there's the Carmine Intelligence Regiment, led by Skeptic and Toga, which makes a lot of sense. Toga's like literally the world's best spy. She gets your blood and she can infiltrate anything and do anything and even use your own quirk against you. A bunch of lieutenants for them, but the most interesting ones are Slide and Go and apparently R2-D2. Very curious about that. And then everyone else is just in the support regiment because they don't really do anything all that useful or interesting. And basically, the organization members are angry about the current status quo, the current system they have. One where they can't really use their quirks for anything, and those who do are essentially treated as villains. I mean, just look back at the fight with Stain. Ida, Deku, and Todoroki were almost arrested for it. I mean, the only reason they weren't was because, they managed to stop Stain. If they hadn't, they would have been arrested. I just did a whole, fan fiction video on what would have happened if Ida hadn't stopped Stain, and it does not go well for him whatsoever. Link above and down below. Anyway, so yeah, the current plan is to murder every last hero, which is probably going to be pretty easy considering, every last hero is on their way to come fight them right here and now. And then they're just going to get, go absolutely crazy, anarchy, no rules, no laws whatsoever. Everyone's going to start killing one another, and then the Hearts and Minds party will come out and say, hey, you have quirks. Why don't you start defending yourselves? And if your quirk's not good enough, here, have guns. We're giving you lots of guns. See, this is true freedom. A world where you can do whatever the heck you want using your superpowers, even if it brings terrible pain and suffering to all those around you. Not sure how well that plan's going to work out, but we'll see about that. I'm actually fairly convinced that by the time the series is over, though, things will change. There's going to be a new status quo. One where superpowers, one where quirks aren't so highly restricted or limited. And this is a world where, even cops can't use their quirks to defend people. Anyway, yeah, then all the heroes assemble to go take out the Paranormal Liberation Front, and I think it's going to go very badly for them. Very, very badly. Meanwhile, back at UA, all the students are like, hey, that's weird. Hey, we're all going to the same place at the same time for our work studies. That's really weird. What do you think's going on? And I think this is the absolute perfect time to find out who the UA traitor is, because he overheard that, or he's here on his own mission, or something, and he's going to reveal to everyone, ha, I was a traitor all along. I told them we were coming, and that's why they knew to expect us here. Or something like that. Honestly, not sure. But we have almost all of Class 1A and a bunch of Class 1B here as well, so this is going to be a very interesting situation. It's also been many months, so there's a whole lot we don't know about what happened in the meantime. I mean, Aizawa said he was going to start training Eri. What happened with that? Is Eri going to play a role in this big final battle? Is she going to hop on Deku's back again and do, Ultimate Deku 2.0? That'd be absolutely amazing. All Might was going to go visit Stain. Did that happen? What happened with that? I mean, Aizawa and Present, they managed to get through their friend. They managed to wake him back up again. Is he on their side? Or is he like a double agent pretending to be on their side, but really on all from one side? Deku learned how to fly yet. I mean, that was the whole thing, him learning how to use his float ability. What happened with that? I saw someone argue online that Deku couldn't have unlocked it yet because he hasn't undergone the necessary trauma or whatever to unlock it, but I mean, this is the final battle, the final war. It's going to be more than one battle. It's going to take place over probably a good week or two or month or more if they end up going underground to form resistance or whatever. But I mean, I kind of have a hard time imagining Deku's going to, unlock and master, 6 more quirks in this time period. The timing of everything is just very strange. I'm not really sure what to make of it right now. But let me know if you can make any sense of it. What's going to happen next is Hawk's going to kill twice. Who the freak is the Dai? Who is this little boy right here, and what's his role in the story? Are all the heroes going to be captured, murdered, etc.? Did Shigaraki finish his training? Is he now destruction for all? Because I feel like they told twice the wrong timeline. He said, oh, he's ready in 4 months. I feel like it's actually be like 2 or 3, and so when they actually go to fight him to stop him before he finishes leveling up, he's gonna be like, haha, I've already finished my training, and now I am a master, haha. Something like that, but yeah, just leave it all down below. Try to make some sense of all this madness. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video. Until then,
peace.